Hey everyone, and welcome back to the SunTrust Foundation channel. This is the place to be if you're an entrepreneur, a student looking to learn, share, and grow together. We actually decided to create this deep dive because so many of you requested it. The dream of starting a business, it's out there for so many of us. But what happens when you're starting with absolutely no money? Is it even possible?
That's a question we get a lot.
Well, today we're going to try to find out.
Yeah.
We're diving deep into Forbes Advisor's article, How to Start a Business with No Money, to see what kind of nuggets of wisdom we can uncover.
Okay.
By the end of this deep dive, you'll walk away with, hopefully, at least a few solid steps to make those business dreams a reality, even on a tight budget.
Yeah,
So to kick things off, every business needs some kind of investment, right?
that's true.
Would you agree with that? Even if it's not a huge pile of cash up front.
It's true. Every business requires some investment. The key is strategic planning and resourcefulness. You have to be a little bit clever with what you have, especially when those resources are limited.
So what does the article suggest? How do we get started with that? How do we wrap our heads around that?
Well, one of the first things they suggest might seem a little bit counterintuitive, but they say, keep your day job.
Keep your day job.
Yeah,
Okay, so at first glance, it seems like keeping your day job would take away from time spent on your business.
that's true, and that's a valid concern.
Yeah.
But think of it this way. Keeping your day job provides you more flexibility in the beginning because you're easing that financial pressure, which means that you can experiment a little bit. You can take some risks. You can make choices without worrying, where your next meal is coming from. It's laying down a safety net while you're climbing that entrepreneurial ladder.
I like that analogy of a safety net. That makes a lot of sense. What else does the article suggest for someone with limited resources?
Well, they go on to list several business ideas that don't require a lot of upfront investment. Things like freelance writing, becoming a virtual assistant social media management.
Those are pretty diverse lists.
Yeah.
Do you see any common threads running through those suggestions?
Definitely. They're all service-based businesses.
Okay.
So you're using your skills, your expertise, rather than relying on a huge inventory or needing a storefront.
So somebody starting out with limited resources should probably consider a service-based business first.
Yeah, I would say that's a good place to start.
But even with a great low-cost idea, I imagine it's still important to get feedback before going all in, right?
Absolutely. The article stresses the importance of market research, understanding your competitors, understanding what makes your business stand out. They even suggest something called a trial run before fully launching.
A trial run.
Yeah.
What exactly does that look like?
Essentially, it's a soft launch. You're testing the waters, getting feedback, maybe refining your offerings without making a huge financial commitment. Maybe you offer your service to a limited number of people at a discounted rate in exchange for detailed feedback.
That's a fantastic idea. It's sort of like a soft opening for your business.
Exactly.
I love that. So far, this is all really useful stuff. If you're enjoying this deep dive, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the SunTrust Foundation channel. We're here to help you on your entrepreneurial journey, and your support helps us reach even more people. Now, getting back to this deep dive, the Forbes article goes on to outline some essential steps for getting started once you have an idea and have done your market research. They spend some time on the business plan.
Yeah.
Why is a business plan so important?
It's your roadmap. It's not just about attracting investors or anything like that. It's also about clarifying your goals for yourself. What do you want to achieve with this business?
Yeah.
What are your revenue projections? How will you measure success? Even when starting with no money, a well-structured business plan can really help you stay focused and organized.
Yeah. And of course, in the early stages, you're probably wearing a lot of hats.
Absolutely. You'll likely be handling everything yourself initially to save money.
You're the CEO, the intern, the whole team.
Yeah, everything from marketing to customer service to bookkeeping.
I can imagine that feeling a bit overwhelming at times,
Yeah,
but also very rewarding to see your vision come to life, even on shoestring budget.
for sure, for sure.
But there comes a time when you need to think about growth and scaling up right.
Yes, and the article touches upon that as well. Scaling up doesn't have to mean, huge investments. It can be as simple as taking on an extra client or two,
Oh, yes.
streamlining a process to save you time. The key is to grow strategically as you start meeting your goals.
And this next part I found incredibly helpful. The article reminds us about all the free resources available to entrepreneurs. I think that sometimes we forget about that.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the challenges, but you're absolutely right. There are so many organizations out there, local workshops, mentorship programs, national organizations like the SBA.
Yeah.
There's a whole world of support out there just waiting to be tapped.
Yeah. It's like having a secret weapon.
Yeah.
A hidden advantage in your back pocket. You
Right.
don't have to do this alone, even if you don't have a big budget. But what about when you do need some funding to get things going?
That's where the article gets really interesting. It dedicates a whole section to alternative funding options.
Okay, I'm all ears. What are some of the options they discuss?
Well, they cover everything from friends and family loans to venture capitalists to angel investors to grants, crowdfunding, even small business loans.
Wow. There's a lot to take in.
There is.
It's like a whole menu of funding options, each with its pros and cons.
Absolutely.
Sounds like it's important to do your research and choose the option that aligns best with your specific business model and goals.
You've hit the nail on the head. Funding isn't just about the money itself. It's about the relationships and the expertise that often come with it. Choosing the right funding source can mean valuable mentorship and guidance along the way. It's not just about the dollars and cents. It's about finding the right partners to support your growth.
That's a great point. So we've talked about keeping your day job, the importance of market research, even doing those trial runs. We've also touched upon free resources and some different funding avenues. What else does the article cover?
There are a few other interesting nuggets of wisdom that I think are worth highlighting.
Okay, let's hear them. What else did you find particularly insightful?
One that really resonated with me was the emphasis on networking.
Oh, okay.
The article talks about the importance of building genuine relationships with other entrepreneurs, potential investors, industry
Well,
professionals.
it's about who you know, right? Or who you get to know.
Exactly. But it's not about, asking for favors or handouts. It's more about building genuine connections, learning from the experiences of others, creating a support system for your entrepreneurial journey. You never know where a simple conversation could lead a new partnership, a valuable piece of advice, maybe even a funding opportunity.
Yeah, it's about planting seeds. The more connections you make, the more potential for your business to flourish.
Speaking of flourishing, I noticed the article also suggests having a savings plan. It might seem counterintuitive when you're starting with no money, but it makes sense. It's all about developing good financial habits early on by tracking your spending, figuring out where you can cut costs, even setting aside a small amount each month. You're building that financial discipline that will be so important as your business grows.
That's like training for a marathon. You start with small steps, build up your endurance, and before you know it, you're ready to go the distance.
Yeah.
Now, we've talked about different funding options, but the article goes into some serious detail about all the different types of funding that are out there.
There's a whole spectrum of funding possibilities. Friends and family loans, venture capitalists looking for equity angel investors who offer mentorship, along with capital. There are grants for specific industries or causes, the exciting world of crowdfunding, and of course, traditional small business loans.
Wow, there's a lot to take in.
There is, but that's what makes it so exciting. There are so many different paths to funding a business. The right choice for you depends on your unique circumstances and goals.
It's not one size fits all. You have to do your research, weigh the pros and cons, and figure out what feels right for you and your business. One thing that really caught my eye was the section on dropshipping.
Dropshipping is a fascinating business model, especially for someone starting with no money.
I have to admit, I'm not entirely familiar with dropshipping. Can you give me a quick rundown of what it's all about?
It's actually quite simple. Essentially, you create an online store and list products from a supplier. When a customer places an order, you pass that order on to the supplier and they ship the product directly to the customer. You never have to handle any inventory yourself.
That's amazing. You're basically connecting buyers and sellers without the overhead of storing and managing products. Where does the profit come in?
Your profit is the difference between the retail price you set in your store and the wholesale price you pay to the supplier. It's a low-risk way to test product ideas and market demand without a big financial commitment.
Sounds almost too good to be true.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm guessing there are some challenges involved.
Of course, dropshipping isn't a magic bullet. You still need to find reliable suppliers, handle customer service inquiries, and ensure those deliveries happen on time. But it's definitely a compelling option for entrepreneurs starting with limited resources.
I can see why it's becoming so popular. It's really a testament to the fact that creativity and resourcefulness can be more valuable than a big bank account when starting a business. Speaking of being resourceful, the article also talks about the importance of choosing the right business idea. What's next?
Well, the article talks about the importance of formalizing your business structure. Choosing the right legal entity, whether that's a sole proprietorship, an LLC, or a corporation.
That sounds kind of intimidating.
It can seem that way, but there are a lot of resources out there to help you navigate the process. There are legal professionals who specialize in this, and even online platforms that make it easy to set up your business the right way.
So once you've got the legal stuff sorted out, Then what?
Then it's time to choose a business name, develop a marketing strategy, and start getting the word out.
It's all about creating a memorable brand and connecting with your target audience.
And with the rise of digital marketing, there are so many affordable and effective ways to promote your services, whether it's through social media, content marketing, email, outreach.
I'm a big believer in the power of online marketing. It's
Mhm.
really leveled the playing field for small businesses and entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. And remember, even with a tight budget, you can still create a strong online presence. There are free website builders, social media platforms, and design tools that can help you put your best foot forward.
I love how accessible all of that is now. So we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about the importance of market research, the different types of funding available, the benefits of a service-based business, even drop shipping. What other insights did the Forbes article offer?
Well, one thing they highlight is the importance of staying motivated and persistent. Starting a business, especially with no money, is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, for sure.
There will be challenges, there will be setbacks, but it's important to keep your eye on the prize, to remember why you started this journey in the first place.
You have to celebrate those small wins along the way.
Absolutely.
Keep that momentum going. We've covered some really great tips and strategies from the Forbes Advisor article. But before we wrap up, I thought it'd be fun to share a few bonus tips that were in the article, but that I think are super helpful, especially when you're starting a business with limited resources.
Okay, bonus tips are always welcome. What do you have for us?
All right, so my first bonus tip is to consider bartering your services, especially in the early stages when cash flow might be tight. You know, think about trading your skills for goods or services that you need.
Bartering, it's a classic example of resourcefulness.
Right.
It's a win-win situation. You get the resources you need without spending any money, and the other party benefits from your expertise.
Let's say you're a graphic designer who needs a new website. You could approach a web developer and offer to design their marketing materials in exchange for their web development services.
Or maybe you're a social media manager. You could offer to manage a local business's social media accounts in exchange for, free advertising or some product samples.
There's so many possibilities.
Yeah.
It's all about thinking outside the box and finding creative ways to get what you need without spending money. My second bonus tip is all about leveraging free publicity. Don't be shy about pitching your story to local media outlets, industry blogs, even podcasts.
Free publicity can be a game changer.
Oh, yeah.
Especially for a new business. It's a great way to build brand awareness, gain credibility, attract new customers without spending a dime on advertising.
And with a little creativity and persistence, you can definitely get some great media coverage, even if you're just starting out. The key is to craft a compelling pitch that highlights your unique story, the value you bring, and what makes your business stand out.
And remember to tailor your pitch to each specific media outlet. Do your research, understand their audience, and present your story in a way that resonates with them.
Okay, my third bonus tip is all about building a strong online presence. In today's digital world, you absolutely need a professional-looking website and active social media profiles.
It's true. Your online presence is your digital storefront.
Yeah.
It's your virtual handshake with the world. It's the first impression that many potential customers will have of your business.
And the great thing is that there are so many affordable tools and platforms out there to help you create a website and manage your social media effectively. You don't need to hire expensive professionals.
Right.
You can use user-friendly website builders like Wix or Squarespace to create a beautiful website, even if you have zero coding experience. And for social media platforms like Canva, offer free templates and design tools to help you create eye-catching visuals.
So there's really no excuse not to have at least a basic online presence.
Okay, bonus tip number 4, might seem obvious, but it's so important. Stay organized and track your expenses.
Organization is key, especially when you're working with limited resources. You need to know where every dollar is going.
Exactly. Use a spreadsheet or a budgeting app to keep track of everything. It'll help you stay on top of your finances and spot areas where you might be able to cut back. Which leads me to bonus tip number 5. Embrace the DIY spirit.
The art of resourcefulness.
Instead of outsourcing every task, see what you can do yourself. Learn basic design skills, create your own marketing materials, maybe even shoot your own product photos.
It's not just about saving money.
Right.
It's also about gaining a deeper understanding of your business and developing valuable skills that will serve you well in the long run.
Bonus tip number 6 is a simple but important reminder. Celebrate your wins no matter how small.
Starting a business is a roller coaster ride. It's important to acknowledge your progress and give yourself credit for all your hard work.
Those small victories will keep you motivated and remind you why you started this journey in the first place.
Okay, and my final bonus tip number 7, stay true to yourself and your vision.
Ooh, I like that one.
It's easy to get caught up in comparisons or feel pressured to follow the latest trends, but your business, it's a reflection of you, your unique skills, your passions, and your values. Let your personality shine through in everything you do. Your authenticity will attract the right customers and collaborators who connect with your vision.
I love that. So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. We talked about the importance of market research, the power of networking, the different types of funding available, the benefits of a service-based business, and even some bonus tips for starting a business with limited resources. What stands out to you the most from all of this?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway for me is that starting a business with no money is absolutely possible. It requires creativity, resourcefulness, and a lot of hard work. But with the right approach, anyone can turn their entrepreneurial dreams into reality.
It's inspiring to see so many people doing just that, taking that leap of faith and building something from nothing.
Yeah, and for those of you out there who are thinking about starting a business, don't let the lack of funding hold you back.
Yeah, remember, you can always reach out to us here at the SunTrust Foundation for guidance and support. We're here to help you on your entrepreneurial journey.
And if you found this deep dive helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below. Let us know what other topics you'd like us to cover. We're always listening, and we're here to help you succeed.
That's right. So until next time, keep dreaming big, keep learning, and keep growing.
We'll see you in the next deep dive.